Brilliance Audio presents Burn the Business Plan, What Great Entrepreneurs Really Do by Carl J. Schramm. Performed by Tom Parks. At one point in my career, I was recruited to be the CEO of a health insurance company, a subsidiary of an international behemoth. It was the most frustrating job of my life. I saw the health insurance industry as one that could be transformed by new techniques to analyze data, push ahead on innovative coverage and claims processes to provide better and less complex service to customers, and get a better handle on how insurers paid hospitals and doctors. Instead, I learned firsthand that success often is the enemy of innovation. The holding company chairman repeatedly told me, "Don't mess with the formula. You are running our most profitable company. Just keep paying the claims." I eventually quit and started a firm through which I could invest in promising startups in health informatics and risk management. Soon, I also was scouting for new, innovative startups for major companies, as well as venture funds in Silicon Valley. Perhaps because I was trained as a researcher, I was curious about whether there were any obvious traits or characteristics of new startups and their founder entrepreneurs that could predict success or failure. Venture investors spoke with certainty about being able to discern a great idea by reading business plans and talking to entrepreneurs. But when I asked about the criteria that they used to judge the good from the bad, they offered formulaic answers. A common one was, is the company's product like aspirin? That is, does it solve an existing problem? Or does the entrepreneur have to invent the problem too? When I became a limited partner in a famous venture fund, I was puzzled to learn that after years of experience, they were still stuck at achieving only one real hit for about every 10 companies they'd backed. 5 or 6 of every 10 picks failed quickly, and a few limped along like zombies, never growing but never collapsing. What literature I could find to explain how startups could be more successful reminded me of cookbooks. Stick to your business plan. Keep your investors happy by giving them information. Get to know your customers and be good to your employees. The curious economist in me kept looking for answers. While still running my company, I took an unpaid part-time post as entrepreneur in residence at a university business school. Students seeking my advice told me what they'd been taught about becoming an entrepreneur. In a nutshell, it was to write a business plan and sell your idea to a venture capitalist. This didn't reflect either my own rocky road or the paths that I knew successful entrepreneurs had taken, a conundrum that I discussed at length with the school's dean and other entrepreneurs. So when the opportunity arose, I couldn't resist the chance to go back to my research roots and attempt to discern the empirical facts about what makes a startup prosper and grow. At the Kauffman Foundation, as well as through past and subsequent experiences, I had the extraordinary privilege of meeting and learning from thousands of entrepreneurs. In every interaction, I've asked what they learned in the process of creating their ideas and starting their companies. What were the most valuable lessons that they'd gleaned from their successes and from their setbacks and failures? The stories were of unexpected twists and turns, of vanishing customers, slammed doors, financing roadblocks, being beaten to the punch by another entrepreneur, and being swatted away by skeptical so-called experts, not to mention cheap eating, disapproving in-laws, missed ballet recitals, foregone vacations, and of course those sleepless nights. I also heard accounts that began with, "If I'd known then what I know now," and of serendipitous decisions that somehow snatched success from certain failure. I also learned from my own successes, failures, inspirations, and frustrations. What follows is distilled from the themes recounted by many of these experienced, successful entrepreneurs.